The Experience Pros radio show, where business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business and founders of Experience Pros University, are inspiring you to get your business right. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Good morning and welcome to the Experience Pros radio show with Angel and Eric. Very nice to have you along with us today. I can see the sun.
Yes, there is sun, and you are a little more awake today than you have been in the past.
No, right? The mountains are beautiful and clear from our view here in Studio Z. The sun is out. It's a brand new day.
And it's instant, I think that everybody's mood just is elevated immediately as soon as the sunshine came out. So that is fantastic because we need everybody to be up and motivated and your mood elevated as we go into, the summertime months for marketing and campaigning for your business. It is that time. Hopefully you have some really fun summertime activities planned, summertime marketing. Lots of grand openings are coming up, ribbon cuttings. You can see it all on our calendar, which we've made a shift now with our online calendar. We are actually still using the Meetup calendar, meetup.com/experiencepros, but we've added it.
You can use our calendar
to the Experience Pros website at experiencepros.com. So you can see it all right there in one place.
experiencepros.com/calendar. And you get to even add your own events, at least members do. And how great would that be to know what you guys are doing so we could send a whole bunch of people your way.
We would love to do that. Lots of fun things coming up and coming around the corner. Of course, we have our monthly events we do recurring monthly events to help everybody with their calendar and scheduling and all that. So check it out. Check out some of the new features. We are always modifying on the go, and but that new calendar was thank you so much to our friend Daryl with Stern LLC who helped us put that together.
You just mentioned that we're always trying to modify and update and be better. I feel like giving away some food.
You do?
I do. No.
What does that feel like?
I feel like
Angel was talking about nothing but it made me feel like I want to give away some food. Here's what
we're going to do. First person to go to the brand new updated experiencepros.com website and tell me not just the calendar, and I'm not talking about the calendar, but anything else new that they can find, and let me know what it is. Send me an email at radio@experiencepros.com. And I'm going to send them to lunch.
How new did the new thing have to be new? Just new since the last time they went?
Since the weekend.
Oh, this weekend. Yeah. It had to be. So you have to be really kind of aware of what the website looks like.
Yeah, you could take a guess, but if your guess is incorrect, you won't get the lunch. But if you guess something new on our front page of our website.
Eric worked over the weekend. He's so excited. He's like, I want people to go and look at it.
Many things.
We want you to go see what I did. I worked over the weekend, Angel.
Proper attribution. Not just I worked, but Donna Galassi, who's bluesing with web design. She does an amazing job for us. And she threw in a few new things on the website.
All right, so you're asking people, just to be clear, go to experiencepros.com.
Find one of the new modifications that's happened in the last week. Let's call it week. And let me know with an email at radio@experiencepros.com. And guess what? You're going to lunch on the pros.
All right, so that's how you send an email.
You got to send an email.
radio@experiencepros.com.
Yep.
And Eric's going to send you a gift certificate to go out to lunch.
Hey, McFly! McFly? Do you know that? Do you know the reference?
Yes.
You do,
Did you go to Comic-Con this weekend?
I did not go to Comic-Con this weekend, though some people would make the argument that I am at Comic-Con 24/7. No. In Quebec, did I pronounce that correctly? Quebec
here for us Coloradans.
In Canada, a Canadian inventor set a Guinness World Record by flying more than 900 feet on his homemade hoverboard.
He's a hoverboard?
A hoverboard.
Finally, a hoverboard. We've been waiting for that since Back to the Future came out.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
Right. Remarkably, this thing uses a whole bunch of drone-like series of propellers to hover about 16 and a half feet in the air. 16 and a half feet in the air. That's almost... That
would creep you out, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Eric's like, I'm not getting on that thing.
I would wreck that thing and do a face plant from 20 feet down.
I'm not getting on that thing.
No. 16 and a half feet in the air, distance of 904 feet, 2 inches over a lake. Well, that's the easy way to do it, isn't it?
Well, because, if you're going to fall,
right.
do it over the water.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
It kind of looks more like the Green Goblin's glider from Spider-Man than Marty McFly's famous hoverboard from Back to the Future. But we're getting there.
Yeah. All right.
The achievement was hailed by the
absolutely
Guinness
take that.
representative. This is truly a mesmerizing and incredible feat of, in the world of engineering and transportation, said the representative.
How fun is that?
There you go.
In Canada, they're hoverboarding.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yes. All right. Well, we got a great show for you today, folks. We don't want you to go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about a stroke of faith. You're just going to have to tune in. Turn up the volume. You're listening to Angel and Eric on the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Can you imagine going an entire day without your phone or computer? Crazy, right? How else would you communicate with your team, contact that client, or even get paid? Absolutely nothing happens when you don't have technology in your lap. Even a slow-running computer can stall your progress. And when your software doesn't sync, nothing seems to work out. You've got a technology partner like no other with C² Computer Consulting. C² is your business pain reliever. Solve your pain. Call C² at 303-933-1113.
The business professionals at Extreme Relationship Management know that networking is one of the best ways to create word-of-mouth marketing for your business. They also know that many of you feel like it's a complete waste of time. The difference is knowing how to network and what to do with all those business cards that you collect. Tune in every Thursday to learn about the ERM networking laws, and be sure to sign up for the next ERM class. Extreme Relationship Management offers training and events to help you realize how rewarding networking can be. Train it the ERM way. Find them online at extremerelationshipmanagement.com and call 855-I-LIKE-ERM to find out more about their next class.
Let's face it, most phone systems are old and outdated or so complicated that it takes a PhD just to change your voicemail. Introducing Edgetronics, your answer to all your business telephone needs. Edgetronics is authorized and certified by Avaya, and they'll not only replace your old phones with new solutions, they'll even train your staff on how to get the most out of them. Proudly serving up and down the Front Range for over 10 years, Edgetronics wants to be your next phone system provider. Call them today at 303-766-1699. That's 303-766-1699. Or online at Edgetronics, that's with an X.com.
Being a homeowner, business owner, or a consumer has never been easier thanks to the Extreme Customer Service Directory. You can count on the Experience Pros Network to deliver the best in customer service and collaboration. Check out the Extreme Customer Service Directory for all your referrals. And if you don't see your favorites on the list, let us know. We'll check them out. And if their customers are saying great things about them, they could be a great fit for the Extreme Customer Service Directory. Online at experiencepros.com/directory.
If printing is an essential part of your business day, then RMK Cartridge is your lifeline to success. Hi, this is Eric, and Angel and I wouldn't think of running our business without having RMK Cartridge on our speed dial. Remanufactured ink and toner cartridges are just the beginning. Free delivery and award-winning service coupled with 30 to 50% savings over original manufacturer products means that we're saving time, money, and space in the landfill all at once. Treat your printer to the best. Contact the guys at RMK Cartridge at 303-781-2076 or on the web at rmkcartridge.com.
Finding care for an aging parent or loved one can be a simple and hassle-free process with Home Care Assistance Denver by your side. They are locally owned and provide hourly as well as 24/7 live-in services by caregivers that are custom-matched based on client needs. They personalize every care plan to fit your loved one's very specific needs. Call them today to schedule your free in-home assessment. 720-443-3371. 720-443-3371. More information can be found at homecareassistancedenver.com. They love serving your loved ones. Call now, 720-443-3371.
John Rush, this afternoon from 3 to 6 on KLZ 560.
The experienced pros want to help you get your business right. And now, back to Eric and Angel on the Experienced Pros Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Experienced Pros Radio Show. Very nice to have you along with us today. Hey, new book out.
Actually, it's a memoir called My Stroke of Faith. May is actually National Stroke Awareness Month, and stroke is the 5th leading cause of death among adults in the United States. And our next guest is an inspiring story. Mark Moore, successful entrepreneur, married, father of 2. He suffered a stroke on his way home from his son's soccer practice, and at first the doctors did not think he would ever fully recover. Well, he shattered their expectations when he completed a 5K on the 1-year anniversary of his stroke, and he credits his faith and family for giving him the strength to make a full recovery. And you can read all about it in the upcoming memoir, My Stroke of Faith. Mark, welcome to the Experienced Pros Radio Show.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Mark, very nice to have you on the show. Let's start with this, and I should let you know, my mother had a stroke when I was just 8 years old, and she lived for another 7.5 years and then passed away with complications of that. Your family really played an important role in your recovery. Tell us how they came alongside and assisted you.
Well, thank you very much, first of all. And yes, you are correct. When I suffered the stroke, for me, I lean on my 3 F's, my faith, my family, and my friends. I lean on my faith, and I lean on my family, and they were wonderful. When you go through something of that nature, it is nice to have a support mechanism there, and my family provided that, my wife and my 2 beautiful children, and they were very, very important in terms of encouraging to keep working hard, because when you go through any sort of a life-threatening illness, they talk about the 5 emotions you go through, like many emotions you go through. Some are anger, denial, and fear. And I went through all of that, and it's very, very helpful to have someone there to support you and to push you along the way.
Absolutely.
No kidding. Because I think, in the beginning, everybody probably does rally around because, here's this traumatic crisis. And so we're there in crisis mode. But as you go into recovery, people tend to go back to their lives and they forget that you're still going through all those many, many emotions. And so sticking with you and having that support group, is probably far more valuable as you're going through recovery, like the healing stage, not just that immediate recovery. Does that make sense, Mark?
Absolutely, Andrew, and you are absolutely, and what you said is spot on. Typically when people get ill, a lot of people are there initially, which is wonderful and is very appreciative. But it's important that people stay. And in my particular case, when I was in a hospital for 6 weeks, and then I had to go through 2 months of intensive rehab, and for those 6 weeks, to your point, Angel, my wonderful wife came to the hospital every day and didn't leave. She stayed during the night. She wanted to be there in case something happened. There was a chair in the room, and she just sat in the chair, slept in the chair, woke up in the morning, checked on me. And then as I went through the 2 months of rehab, and rehab can be very, very, very grueling. It's intensive. We're going now 4 days a week, spending 5 hours a day. We live in Northern Virginia. Traffic can be brutal here. It took an hour to get to the rehab facility, so we would drive an hour every day, hour there, hour back. My wife stayed there and sat through every one of my rehab sessions as I struggled to get back to normal.
Wow. Well, God bless her and everybody for being with you. Now, looking back, Mark, do you think there were warning signs that a stroke was coming and that you missed it, that you know what you're looking for now?
And there were warning signs, and for me, I didn't miss them. What happened at the beginning of that year, I started suffering migraine headaches. I never had a migraine headache in my life. After the second migraine headache, I went to the neurologist, and they ran a litany of tests, MRIs, MRAs, went on for 5 months. They couldn't determine what was causing the migraine headaches. At the 5-month mark, I went to see a second neurologist that got a second opinion. They also could not determine what was causing the migraine headaches. 2 days after visiting the second neurologist, that's when I suffered my first stroke. That Saturday before Mother's Day. And then the Monday after Mother's Day, I suffered the second stroke. But you make a very good point. That was in my case. In a lot of cases, 80% of strokes can be preventable. and there are controllable risks, and there are things that people can look for. They use an acronym called FAST, F-A-S-T. F stands for face. Look at a person's smile, and if the smile is drooping, it could be a sign they may be having a stroke.
Wow.
A stands for arms. Ask them to put both arms in the air. If one arm is lower than the other, that could be a sign they may be having a stroke. And the S stands for speech. Ask someone to, smile. And if the smile is drooping, that could also be a sign they're having a stroke. And the last letter is T, of fast. And the T stands for time, which is really call 911 and get them to the hospital very, very quickly.
Absolutely. Mark, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You've helped us understand some of the early warning signs of whether or not somebody may be going through it right now. You've talked about some of the signs that led up to that. Strokes, do they affect different races differently? Tell us about what you've learned over the journey that you've gone through.
And you're absolutely, and they do affect different races differently, and we don't know why. We know that African Americans are 2.4 times more likely to have a stroke compared to whites.
Wow.
And we don't know why. We also know that African Americans are twice as likely to die from a stroke as compared to whites. And we don't know all the reasons for these, but we do know that when you talk about strokes, there are certain risk factors that are controllable. Some are not. But things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, clearly some of that could be hereditary, and you can go to a doctor and hopefully get medication to control those. But the things that we can control, things like excessive alcohol drinking, right, excessive eating, smoking, those are the risk factors that we can control, and we should do that. So if we can, 80% of strokes are preventable. Now, in my case, I developed a blood deficiency. My blood began to clot when it was supposed to. It was a blood clot that caused a stroke. But there are controllable risk factors, and we should do everything we can to limit those.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the foundation that you and your wife have started, the Mark and Brenda Moore Family Foundation.
Yes. After the stroke was in 2007, I went back to work. Believe it or not, 3 months after the stroke, I was sitting back behind my desk working.
No way.
I know. My partner and I, we were, again, a lot of blessings. God put us in a position where we eventually sold our business in 2010. And in 2012, I retired. And my wife and I created our family foundation in 2010. And it was just our way of giving back. And we realized that we've been blessed and that the good Lord has given us more than we deserve and more than we need. And we're just trying to give some back. So the foundation focuses on healthcare, education, arts and culture, and Christian evangelism. And we want to try to see that I received wonderful care when I went to the hospital, and I want other people to receive that same type of care.
Well, I love this. It's just there's nothing not to support here. To use a double negative there. Mark, your memoir, My Stroke of Faith, is it out? Can we go get it?
It's not out yet. We've completed writing it, and we are now going through the process of looking to select a publisher.
All right.
We would anticipate probably about a year from now, but we'll probably be out.
Well, I'll tell you what, when it comes out, you come back to the Experience Pros radio show. We'll do an update, and we'll make sure that everybody goes and buys that memoir.
Well, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
In the meantime, Mark, is there a website or a place you want people to connect with either you or your foundation?
Actually, the best place would be Twitter.
Okay.
Mark Moore 325 on Twitter, and that would be the best place to connect with me. The foundation, it's a family foundation, and really it was just about my wife and I giving back just a portion of what the good Lord has given us.
I love it. Mark Moore 325 on Twitter. Boy, you've just added a great vibe and a tone here on the Experience Pros radio show. We celebrate your recovery and the message and the work that you're doing now.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for the time, and thank you, listeners. And people should realize that, as you said earlier, when you're faced with trials and tribulations in life, you can recover. I recovered, and I was in a world of hurt at the time. Couldn't walk, couldn't use my left hand. And today, if you saw me, you wouldn't notice anything today.
Well, God bless you. And we're so grateful that you shared your story with us today, Mark. Thank you for being our guest.
Oh, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. God bless you.
You bet. More positive business talk coming up next on the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The experienced pros are here to help you get your business right. To learn more, visit experiencepros.com.
You keep wondering about refinancing options. You know rates are low, but don't know how to go about getting the best rate and best type of loan for your situation. What do you even need to get started? Wonder no more. Go to CherylAnswers.com. Cheryl of ALMC Mortgage has put together a checklist of what you need to know and frequently asked questions when it comes to your mortgage. Get answers. Go to CherylAnswers.com. CherylAnswers.com.
LMB number 100020432. NMLS number 266695. You can check the licensing status of your mortgage loan originator at dora.state.co.us.
If you have a rental property and have been managing it all on your own, let Legacy Properties PM help you build your legacy. They handle everything from emergency calls 24 hours a day, market rent analysis, and fiscally responsible home improvement suggestions. They don't mark up contractor work, and they provide quarterly interior property condition reports. Get your first month's management fee for free at legacyproperties-pm.com/radio. That's legacyproperties-pm.com/radio. You're going to love this service. For questions, call 720-989-1996. They'll help you sleep well and build your legacy.
Hi, this is Eric, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at McDonald Volvo. This family-owned business has been delivering extreme customer service for almost 50 years right here in our neighborhood. With upfront worry-free pricing and super personalized service, your best car buying experience is at McDonald Volvo. General Manager Will Roughton is a great friend, and he wants to meet you personally. Call him at 303-738-4803. That's 303-738-4803, and tell him the pros sent you.
Orange Theory Fitness at Parker and Arapahoe is the official fitness sponsor of the Experience Pros radio show. This is Angel, and Orange Theory is the energizing group fitness concept that is sweeping the nation. Experience the orange effect at the location Eric and I work out at. It's Orange Theory Fitness at Parker and Arapahoe Road. You'll see more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours after your workout. Call for a free Saturday session at 303-645-4290. That's 303-645-4290. We'll see you at Orange Theory Fitness at Parker and Arapahoe Road.
Nyland's Collision Center is an award-winning body shop that takes great care of you and your car. This matters when your insurance company wants to take shortcuts. Nyland's Collision Center only uses manufactured parts. This matters when a cheap, ill-fitting part is available. At Nyland's, it matters. If it's not perfect, it's not leaving. 303-761-9219. 303-761-9219.
Every day, hundreds, if not thousands of people are searching online for what your business has to offer. SharpNet Solutions can help you get found, just like they did for Vera at Lovebug Matchmaking.
SharpNet has really helped our business expand to 60 miles around our business. Being able to be seen online and being able to be seen through searches has made an enormous difference. SharpNetSolutions.com or 303-900-4988.
Dana Lash, 8 p.m. weeknights on KLZ 560.
The Experience Pros radio show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin' story of great customer service on Facebook.com/Experience Pros. Now, back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros radio show. It's not a cruel summer at all. It's going to be an amazing summer. The sun is out.
The sun has finally come out. We're very excited. It would be a very cruel summer if it rained all summer long. But we know your summer marketing campaigns are getting ready to kick off. If you need some help with that, consider partnering with the Experience Pros, Extreme Customer Service Directory members. We're going to be doing a fun summertime marketing campaign.
Summer Olympics.
Summer Olympics kicks off June 15th. It's a 6-week fun summertime marketing campaign, creating some habits of success and helping you grow your business during these fun and crazy summertime months.
And it will be fun. But there's one thing I think we should talk about. Your assistant, Cher, has everybody on her team.
So here's how we've been out kind of campaigning, adding members where it's going to be the Summer Olympics. It's 4 teams are competing. The 4 team captains are Eric and Angel, and our staff, Adam and Cher. And Adam and Cher have actually been out campaigning, getting people to join their teams.
The understatement of the year.
Eric, you've done nothing. You've done nothing. So to see that your team has very few people on it, people have taken pity on you, and they're like, "Oh, poor Eric doesn't have anybody on his team. I better join Eric's team."
Even the people that are on my team, Cher writes them personal love notes and says, you can always switch over even at the last minute.
I think I'm going to have to, we're going to have to make a rule. Your team is your team, and you can't quit on your team at the end.
Whether or not it's a Mercy membership or not.
But we've all shared some of our team members. We've all given you some team members. It will be equitable in the size of the
even
teams.
Cher? Did Cher share?
Well, we're working on Cher.
Okay.
We're working on Cher.
Because if she shared, I will send her flowers or something.
You would?
I would.
That's very sweet of you.
Absolutely.
That's very sweet of you. All right.
She's tripping people in the elevator and saying, "You're on my team."
You're on my team. Actually, a lot of people are signing up for Cher's team. She's got the most creativity going right now. And when we talk about summertime campaigns, actually any marketing campaign, when you look at television commercials and you watch all these fun marketing campaigns, it isn't a buy now. Do you want to buy now? Buy from me now. Let me tell you how much time we've been in business. And, we think about when we're selling and marketing, we always want to be all about our features, feature. But what are the benefits? What do people feel? How do you get them excited just about your brand? And that's what we're going to do for you all summer long. But maybe you're thinking about taking some time off during the summer.
Guess what?
Don't.
No, it's okay.
No, not this summer.
Let me help. It's okay to take this much time off.
There's no space in there.
Well, it's just a little time.
There's no space in there.
It's a tiny.
He's got his finger and thumb pinched together, and he's like, this much time off. Here's let's talk about some fun little things that you can do if you're feeling just a little bit overwhelmed, and you think, okay, I need to have a little just a little less work and a little more play because I'm getting to be, it's just a little too hectic.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
All right. So how about here are some tips. One, to make sure that you balance work with play and love.
What?
The greatest lives are those that find a balance among the elements of work, play, and love.
I have to bring that that word into
it. But, think about the things that you love to do, and you surround yourself. Right. You surround yourself with things that bring you joy. So even at work, you've got fun decor in your office, pictures of things. Maybe you fill your days, with little snippets of text messages to people you really care about, and you just make sure that you take time to just put a little bit more love and play into your workday.
All right, I can get along with that.
Take things a little bit more slowly. We are in a culture that's obsessed with getting her done, get it done now, get it done fast, get it done, and we're moving 100 miles an hour.
I had this conversation with somebody over the weekend, and I was the one who actually said, if all things were equal, I would love to get to the place where I could just slow down. And she said, well, what would you do? And I said, I don't know. I'd read another book. I'd invent a new recipe. I would just, and I've gotten better over the years doing that.
Well, you have to have a thing that you are, if you're going to relax, you're going to slow the pace and not always be rushed and always in a hurry. Look at your calendar. You are in control of that.
Absolutely.
You don't really have to cram back-to-back meetings on the hour every hour. Give yourself maybe even just an extra 15-minute cushion in between meetings. Hold meetings. I'm going to meet you at 1, but I'm going to have my next meeting at 2:15. Not to have that meeting go an extra 15 minutes. Still end it, at 50 minutes, and go for a little walk or give yourself a little treat or have a little space so you're not rushing through traffic.
I love this. And ultimately, we got into business for a lifestyle, right? To create a lifestyle and to realize that. And again, we're not talking about slowing down your marketing. We're not talking about stopping your business because you think that everybody goes on vacation during the summer. They don't. Most vacations last a week, 2 weeks at the max. So you can't afford to just roll up the sidewalks, right?
No, you absolutely can't. But you can slow your pace down and find your inner tortoise. Slow and steady wins the race. Are you looking? Are you feeling a little turtly?
Where is my inner?
Feeling a little turtly?
Inner tortoise.
So here's something else you can do if you're just feeling the hecticness of not taking time off. Spend 10 minutes every day doing nothing.
What?
I don't know if I could do that.
Is that permission?
He says no texting, no checking your emails, no video games, no TV watching, no reading.
I can't do nothing.
No, you can't do nothing?
No, kids are not supposed to do nothing.
All right. Here's how about this. How about take a sabbatical?
Oh, no.
What would happen to your business if you closed your doors for a year while you went on sabbatical to an exotic location?
Can I tell you what's going to happen if you close your doors for a year? I'm all out on this. You went on sabbatical for 5 weeks and about killed me.
And it did. It killed our business.
No.
But here's, as you're just trying to recreate, maybe you're at a space and you're putting like an exit plan into your business and you think, okay, I'm going to do a 7-year business.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work it for the 7 years. I'm going to build it up and get it started. I'm going to get it going, systems, processes, and then I'm going to sell it. I'm going to take a year-long sabbatical. I'm going to go and just recharge and live on a beach or do something philanthropic and then come back.
Love, pray, go ahead, do your thing. But
it's an experiment worth trying.
Go.
Now, I did take a 5-week sabbatical. That was plenty for me. And it was at a time when my daughters were 17 and my son was 13. And I thought this will be the last summer we spend together as a family. I thought girls are going to go get jobs. They're going to go get boyfriends. They're going to go build lives. Like they're going to graduate from high school.
They did all of that and they're still here.
But I think maybe it's because of the time I took. And it really brought our family much closer together.
And of course, ITs, but and it was a challenging time for our business.
We lost every single client. We had to start all over.
Yeah.
But in starting all over,
we redesigned everything.
And we did it better.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a real, it was painful.
So,
but isn't all purging and pruning and cleansing?
Everything we said in the last 8 minutes, do all of it except for the sabbatical. There you go.
You know what? It could.
If you have that 7-year plan or whatever. Sure.
Just think about what you could do, and you don't have to always be just so tied to work.
Wow.
Right.
Right.
You could actually have a life.
I'm going to think about that during the next commercial break. But while I'm thinking about that, you should turn up the volume because remember, the people who support this show make it all possible for us to have this conversation and the next one. Stay tuned.
The Experienced Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Get your payroll and employee paperwork done efficiently, effectively, and economically with Employer Essentials. Free up your time, free up your money, and let Employer Essentials help your business grow. They handle all of your payroll and HR needs at EmployerEssentials.com or call 303-734-9436. 303-734-9436.
Hi, this is Angel, and I've been in my home for 12 years now. When I think about redecorating, I just can't seem to get past what I've always done. Helene's Designs offers a fluff it up service for home decorating. She takes what I already have and rearranges just enough to fluff it up. Call Helene to get fluffed up at 720-233-7302. Helene's Designs is a full-service design firm that helps you turn your dreams into a reality. Call Helene's Designs today at 720-233-7302 or check out the before and after pictures online at helenesdesigns.com.
Attention business owners, if you're waiting 30 to 60 days or more to get paid, Riviera Finance can turn your invoices into immediate cash flow. Let them help. Their process is simple and no debt is created. Riviera Finance is located right here in Denver. They've been helping companies across the U.S. for over 40 years. So if you bill on credit but need better cash flow, call Jack Loudon at Riviera Finance now at 303-409-7706. That's 303-409-7706 or visit RivieraFinance.com.
We'd love it if you liked us. No, we know that you like us here on the radio, but we'd love it if you liked us on Facebook. Keep your fingers on the pulse of all the networking events, trainings, fun activities, and business opportunities. And the pictures. The pictures. All of which can be found right there on our Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/experiencepros and click like. Yep, it's just that simple. Get plugged into the most positive business talk show in America and become a business revolutionary. We'd love it if you liked us on facebook.com/experiencepros.
Tune in every Monday at 11:35 for What's Going On with Jim Smith from Prudential. Jim will host a lively conversation about the financial and investment topics you're asking about. You can call Jim and his Prudential team directly at 303-669 9701 and tune in on Monday mornings right here on the Experience Pros Radio Show.
The Extreme Customer Service Directory is the go-to place for finding the companies who have the best customer testimonials. Plus, to make it even easier, we narrow down the field to only 3 companies in your area. If you need a printer in the metro area, we have it. If you need ink and toner, we have it. The Extreme Customer Service Directory is one of the most visited directories in the state, and it's all yours to view for free at experiencepros.com. Experiencepros.com for the best in customer service. When you're looking for the best, think Experience Pros. You can feel good about doing business with the pros.
I'm John Walsh. I'm Ed Smart. When a child is abducted, time is critical. That's why Amber Alert is so important. The public is notified when a child is abducted. It's a partnership between broadcasters, law enforcement, transportation, and you. Thanks for making Amber Alert happen.
Chris Cook, tonight at 6 on KLZ 560.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Very nice to have you along with us. Hey, I want to talk to you about, there are just some mistakes that you simply cannot afford to make, and especially as it relates to the customer service side of things.
Well, especially when you're talking about in those early stages of growing your business, you probably don't have a lot of customers. So it's really easy to offer extreme customer service. You interact with every one of your clients. There's a lot of follow-up. There's a lot of relationship building. You know, there's a lot of one-on-one and paying attention to.
But don't get too busy to deliver great service.
I remember one time being hired. Eric and I used to do business consulting, and somebody brought us in, and they said, in the beginning, I used to have all this great return customers, but now I don't. And can you help me with my customer service? And one of the conversations that we had with him, when we talked about sending thank you cards, it came to a place where we were talking about sending thank you cards to people who actually purchased from you. And he says, you know what? I used to send them to everybody.
But then I got too busy.
So I stopped sending them. So now can you help me with my customer service?
You bet.
Here's the thing is you probably know all the secrets. You probably did all the tricks and the trades, but as you got busy, you stopped doing them. So a couple of faux pas, and we're going to just kind of remind you about the value of staying in touch with your customers, but responding in a timely manner. Yes, it seems very time consuming to respond to every single email that comes in from your customers and prospects. But even the simplest reply can go a long ways.
I confess, this is my Achilles heel.
They want to know that they're being heard and that their messages aren't being lost in the abyss. And so here's what they do in order to make sure that they're not being lost. They'll send you, they'll send you an email, and then they'll go in through another portal, maybe a text message or a Facebook message or a phone message, and say, hey, I sent you an email. And those that don't reply get really frustrated. They're like, I got it. Okay, did you reply?
Yeah.
So you don't shoot the messenger for trying to get the message to you.
And can I just suggest that an autoresponder that says, got your message and I'll get back to you in the next 24 to 72 hours.
Nay.
Stop that.
Nay. You got an autoresponder. That does not mean you read it. They know that. Auto-responding messages that say, I will reply to you within 24 to 36 hours, bag them. I mean, that is like the worst message I could receive.
What if you made an autoresponder that says, I love it? The answer is absolutely.
You better be ready to deliver. You better be.
You don't like that?
I'm going to test that.
You don't like that,
I'm going to test that.
Well, if you don't like that, don't put out a general one that says I'll respond in 72 hours. It's ridiculous. Here's another one. Oftentimes, one of the mistakes that many people make is that they overcommit to projects that are outside of their core competency, right? Their core area.
Sure, because we want to get the job, right? We want to get the client. And so, we don't really do that service. It's not really something that is in your core group, but you want to get the client. And so you you overwhelm yourself. You take on too many projects, and you don't do that very well. And so you end up stressing yourself out. So instead, surround yourself with a group of power partners who have complementary services to what you do. So when your client comes in, somebody could come to us and say, okay, Eric and Angel, you're helping us with our marketing. Can you help us with our website? Well, no.
we've got people that will do that for you.
We can help you with a referral,
Right.
but for us to stop what we're doing and then go into the website development business, even though we may have that strength, we know how to do it.
Right? Or Eric and Angel, we need some business consulting, some business coaching. Could you do that?
Could.
Yes. But we don't do that anymore.
Nope.
So make sure that you surround yourself with a group of power partners.
Absolutely.
You don't have a customer service infrastructure. You don't have systems in place to make sure that the sales process is moving along smoothly, that inventory is being accounted for, processes, billing, invoicing, all of that.
And the fact of the matter is you never have a second chance to make that first impression, and you have to be anticipating. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday who is starting and launching a brand new business, and they had their core values, and they had 6 of them. And I said, well, the good Lord chose 7 as the perfect number, so let me offer this. What is your experience? How will you create an experience that is designed to let the customer know that before they ever thought of you, you had them in mind? The customer experience or the customer service infrastructure lets people know that you were anticipating them.
Well, right. And making sure that customer service is everyone's job.
Right.
It's not just, your frontline staff, but it's everybody. Is all about delegating customer care. When everyone talks to customers, everybody is about serving and taking that customer through and having that positive experience and having that memorable experience. Too often, we talk about satisfied customers. We have, we get the product done, in their hands on time and at a good price. Well, that's not a memorable experience. I mean, I can go anywhere. I can go online. I can go to the store across the street. I can go to your competition and get good product, decent product, on time, fair price.
It needs to be remarkable.
It needs to be. And by remarkable,
people should remark about it.
Right? So are they saying anything to anybody else about the experience that they're having with you?
You ever hear this in relationships, especially with old married couples? Listen, I told you that I loved you at the beginning of our relationship, and if anything changes, I'll let you know.
We want to be communicated to. Do you have a sales process? Am I dropping off my my pants to be hemmed, and can you just let me know, okay, we've got them, they're picked up, they're going to be to you in 3 days? That's probably fine, and in 3 days I go and get it. But if there's something else that's a longer process, and maybe you're in a development stage, maybe you're helping them with their website development, maybe there's some type of process that it's moving along through the stages, but communicating to your customers through the process along the way. Just a cute little update that just says a brief status makes them feel more engaged, and they feel like they're part of the process, and they're not out there just wondering, am I ever going to get my stuff back?
Yeah, just touch base with them. Do you ever get defensive about criticism?
Everybody does.
Oh, got to be careful.
Everybody does. I mean, it's hard not to remove yourself from it, right? Somebody makes a comment about the website that you just work so hard on all weekend long, and you spend all your time, and then somebody comes in and goes, really? Yeah, you're going to get defensive. However,
you need to learn to respond with grace.
Absolutely. Here's a couple things you wouldn't think about that would be negative for customer service, but here's one that can kind of bite you, and it's that you're too accommodating. And you think, well, wait a minute, Eric and Angel, you say absolutely all of the time.
Even when it's a no, though, we find a way to say absolutely no, but we can, we redirect it. Right.
And you have to find a way, because, taking somebody, this is where it's really fun to have that ideal client. A non-ideal client is going to want you to change everything and change your process and break the rules and break some of the policies and bend the rules a little bit. It always comes back to bite you.
Yeah. So
make sure that you've got something that is a win-win for both the customer and the company, and serve your customer well every time, and be wary about coming in and going, well, for you, and just this one time.
Right.
Because it's not just this one time. Now you set precedents.
They will leverage that. Finally, the greatest mistake that you could possibly make when it comes to your building your business and growing it is you focus on sales over customer retention. My friends, to a factor of 10 to 1, Customer retention will serve you better and be less expensive than going after that next new customer. Do you need the new customer? Of course you do. But if you retain the customers you have, remember, every one of them has a Frank circle: friends, relatives, associates, networks, and customers. Every single one of them. It is so much better for you to retain your customers than it is to go after that new one. Let them bring new customers in. If you do it right, they'll actually outperform every marketing dollar you ever pay. There you go.
Absolutely.
All right. Folks, don't go anywhere. More positive business talk coming up next. You're listening to Angel and Eric on the Experience Pros radio show.
The Experience Pros are here to help you get your business right. To learn more, visit experiencepros.com.
You've got a great business, lots of customers, and a catchy tagline. Things are going great, right? Has it ever occurred to you that if you are doing so well in your business, someone else might be trying to copy or steal your concept and make it their own? It happens every day. But don't let it happen to you. You need attorney Steve Replin on your side. Much more than just a lawyer, Steve is a business consultant who knows how to protect what's yours while helping you grow it to success. Call Steve today and CYA. That's Cover Your Assets. 303-322-7919. 303-322-7919.
Being a homeowner, business owner, or a consumer has never been easier thanks to the Extreme Customer Service Directory. You can count on the Experience Pros Network to deliver the best in customer service and collaboration. Check out the Extreme Customer Service Directory for all your referrals. And if you don't see your favorites on the list, let us know. We'll check them out. And if their customers are saying great things about them, they could be a great fit for the Extreme Customer Service Directory online at experiencepros.com/directory.
Computers, we can't live a moment without them. My friend sent me an email recently saying she was having 99 problems and 97 of them were because of email and technology. I hate it when it doesn't work, but I'm stuck with how to get past the lockups, the slow retrieval, and lost data. This is what Binkley IT specializes in: all your computer quirks and hangups. They'll take care of you, and often they can do it remotely. Call our friends at Binkley IT and solve your IT puzzle one piece at a time. Call 720-254-1057, 720-254-1057. And if your computer is still working, look them up online at binkleyit.com.
Let's face it, you're stuck. Sure, your business is stable, but you've been floundering it even for too long. It's time to call Stephanie Scheller. Stephanie is a systems, business, and marketing coach who's helped over 300 companies improve their results by setting up systems and holding them accountable to trackable growth. Sometimes all you need is a fresh perspective and a little bit of accountability to break through to the next level of your success story. Call Stephanie today, 210-426-6956, and just talk to her. 210-426-6956. She can help. It's your business. Call today.
Did you get some great customer service today? Did someone make you feel a little happier for doing business with them?
Give them a fan brag. This is Eric, and you can call into Fan Braggin Friday and share your story with me and Angel on the air, or you can write a fan brag at experiencepros.com.
Once you start looking for great customer service, you'll find it's in more places than you thought. Share your great finds with us by calling 855-FAN-BRAG during our Friday show. Kindness is so simple, and we want to hear from you.
As a business owner, you know what it's like to wear a bunch of hats, and we know it too, which is why our very best advice to you is to outsource your accounting to By the Numbers Bookkeeping and Accounting. Philip Aronoff is well known to listeners and members of the Experience Pros Network. He was voted the best bookkeeper in the state of Colorado during the Fan Braggin contest, and he can absolutely help you build your business while making sure your accounting is all taken care of. Call Philip today and take that bookkeeping hat off for good. 720-837-0860. That's 720-837-0860.
Chris Cook, tonight at 6 on KLZ 560.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
That's right. Come on, Barry.
It wasn't pretty, but we did make it.
You know, there was a lot of people.
Die, but we acted like we were going to.
You know, a lot of people really did act like they were going to, but I got to give the other side of that equation. So many people have posted on Facebook and everything. Look at how green and
That's beautiful.
we live in the high desert, and
It's like Colorado got a bath.
It did, and so we are very grateful for all the moisture and for what we pray from our lips to God's ears. Will be a non-existent fire season, right? I mean,
yeah, everything's so wet and moist, and
but goodness,
hopefully fireproof now.
It is so wonderful to see.
To see the sun. See the sun. Charlie, thanks so much for that.
Absolutely.
That was super duper fun.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about some good manners.
What?
Good manners.
Why?
When we talk about customer service, we talk about changing the way people treat people in business, but there are just some really polite things that we were probably taught as children, or by our grandmothers and grandparents, even if it wasn't by our parents.
Wash your mouth out with soap.
Right. You remember as a kid, you wouldn't dare call somebody older than you by their first name. It was always, Mr. or Mrs.
What has happened to our society?
Right. It's like, hey, bud. I'm like, Bud, I'm Mrs. Tussey to you,
there
kid.
You go.
Also saying please and thank you all day long. Please and thank you.
Such a difference.
Right. Think about even now, we just kind of move along. We just assume, and we're just like, somebody serves us and we just walk away. So here's a list of fun little polite things that people just don't seem to do anymore. And if you'd like to include them into your, just being more polite to people, showing a little more respect.
They might look at you a little funny, but it's worth it.
It's okay. How about this? Writing thank you notes.
Absolutely. We talk about it all the time.
Now, we talk about it in business after you've met with somebody, you've spent some time with somebody, you've interacted with them. But if somebody buys something from you, thank them for it. If somebody sends you a gift, or even hands you a gift. I think thank you notes, especially if something comes in the mail or you receive it and they're not there in person, because they'd really appreciate knowing you received it, right? So grandma sends you a present, make sure, even if it's just a little $10 bill in a card, send her a thank you note telling grandma you appreciate her.
I would appreciate that.
How about this? Welcoming new neighbors with just a little friendly hello, or
cookies?
Some cookies?
Yes.
A little treat? You can even do this with your suite mates in the office, in the building that you're at. Welcome people to the neighborhood, right?
That's a good idea.
How about this one? Giving up your seat on public transportation for the elderly, pregnant women, and those with disabilities.
That's a no-brainer.
But, they're standing there and these kids are just spread eagle sitting there taking up 6 seats.
Stop that.
Do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Just do the right thing.
Right.
How about this one? This one's going to cut a little close to home.
Uh-oh.
RSVPing to events.
Wait. Do it. You know what I want.
Répondez s'il vous plaît.
Oh, God, I love that.
I don't know. Just tell me when. Was the answer maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah, don't
Appropriate
RSVP.
response.
Don't RSVP maybe to anything.
Maybe not.
Because you know what that means? I'm filling this gap until I can find something better.
And I said, I think that people say maybe because I got it, but I'm hoping something better comes along.
Right.
So it's just rude. Right, gives you the maybe option. Probably, I think Facebook might even give you the maybe option.
I took it off of their options several years ago because it's
Facebook.
rude.
It is rude.
What's a maybe?
It's nothing.
It's worse than a no.
Make a decision, people.
Right?
Make a decision. Put it on your calendar. Decide to go. Somebody took the time to put an event together. Do you know how much energy goes into putting an event together? And even if it's one that even is simple, somebody still has to do it. Have you put an event together and just had to sit idly by hoping that people, like how many seats, how big of a room?
How much food should I purchase? How much?
Yeah, anything. Yeah. Do I need to have items there? So
there you go.
Okay. Take your hat off indoors. Shows respect. Making polite small talk at the checkout. Cashiers say hello and then stop talking. Talk to each other. They're there. They're serving you. So make some small talk, and put your cell phone away. Put your phone away when you're in the company of other people. If you're having any interaction, a meeting, lunch, you're sitting in the car driving with somebody, you're in a cash register line, any place, the doctor's office, a waiting room, put your phone away. Just put it away. Don't talk on the phone.
All right.
Saying you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
No problem. is not the appropriate response. No problem. Not a problem. No big deal. What is that what we say? What's the one we say?
No worries, or no,
It's no problem.
it's no problem.
It's no problem. Yeah, that's the one that, that's not an appropriate response. The response is, you're welcome. Somebody pays you a compliment. The response is, thank you. That's it. Cue yes,
Don't
so I got it on. Yeah.
Don't downplay the compliment.
Hold the door open for the person behind you, which means you need to have a little peripheral vision of what's going on around you.
Regardless of gender. I do my very best to make sure that I always hold the door open for a lady, but if there's a gentleman coming up behind me, I'll stop and hold the door for him too.
I hold the door open for people.
Yeah, you do.
Doesn't matter, man or woman. It's just, if what, isn't it rude just have a door slam in front of somebody's face? Like, that is like awful. Like, you couldn't hold the door open for a second, really? And we go back to, we're talking about living in this fast-paced world, finding that inner tortoise, slowing down to hold the door open for somebody who's coming up behind you. Maybe they're not even super duper close. Just gives you a moment to breathe and relax and smile and engage in some politeness and nice behavior. And we talk about showing respect to people. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of anger, a lot of disrespect going on in the world. And so these subtle little things, it's not like you have to do this sweeping grand notion. It is a day filled with 100 tiny little things of being courteous and respectful to other human beings.
Absolutely.
So this came to us from the Huffington Post.
I like that. All right. Well, very, very well. Great tips for life. I was talking to somebody about the radio show over the weekend, and they said, well, can you describe what happens on the radio show? And I said, life. Life happens on the radio shows. It's
Are we sharing life, Charlie?
It's a positive business talk show. That's true. But, we talk about, we just had Mark Moore on the show talking about his memoir coming up, A Stroke of Faith. And you can't have the great business unless you have some type of a balance in your life as well. And that requires an element of faith in many cases. You either have a faith or you choose not to have a faith, and either one is a faith.
Well, we recognize, yes, we talk business talk, but what are businesses made up of? People, communities, relationships, connections.
One of our listeners just chimed in and said, instead of "you're welcome," how about "it's my pleasure"?
It's my pleasure. No, yeah, we heard that in Cancun.
Absolutely.
Over and over again. And I know our friends over at Printing Done Quickly have adopted that as well. Try saying that. Just adopt the phrase, "it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure." And watch your brain realize and be rewired.
Really is your
What's
pleasure.
that neuroplasticity thing happen? And it really does. So which comes first? Is it your pleasure or the words? Say the words. Just say it. And watch it truly will become your pleasure to serve people.
The chicken.
Or the egg.
No, chicken. The chicken came first. I'm just saying. It's my pleasure.
It's
to say that.
I'm sure it was.
I
don't think that's what he had in mind.
Oh, well, I like chicken. It's my pleasure. Good enough. All right. We just wrapped up our first hour of Positive Business Talk, but the good news is we have a whole nother hour of Positive Business Talk coming up after the top of the hour, news and station ID. But have you checked out the new look of the Experience Pros website?
Yeah, we got 3 or 4 different responses of folks that are checking it out and finding the new fun things. Check out the calendar, experiencepros.com. Click on the calendar, see all the fun stuff that's coming up, even just this week.
Absolutely. All right, quick timeout, but when we come back, more Positive Business Talk. You know what this is. It's Experience Pros Radio Network.
This has been the Experience Pros Radio Show with business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. For more information, you can contact Experience Pros by calling 720-344-2446 or visit them on the web at experiencepros.com, facebook.com/experiencepros, and twitter.com/experiencepros. What are you waiting for? Join the revolution.
Dana Lash, 8 p.m. weeknights on KLZ 560. SquareTrade does not cover lost or stolen items. Savings based on 2-year iPhone plan with one claim compared to Assurant total equipment coverage as of April 10th, 2015.
Getting a new Galaxy, iPhone, or other smartphone? Get this. Every 2 seconds, one of us accidentally breaks our phone. So protecting your new smartphone is a smart idea. But if you have insurance from one of those big cell phone companies, you're paying way too much. I'm Steve Abernethy, and I founded SquareTrade to give you a better choice. Phone insurance from Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carriers can cost you as much as $11 every month, plus up to $199 deductible when you break your phone. SquareTrade phone protection is less than $5 a month with a much lower deductible. We can save you over $240. And switching to SquareTrade is easy. Even if you're locked into a 2-year phone contract with Verizon, Sprint, or other wireless carrier, you can cancel their phone insurance anytime. We'll even show you how.
Switch to SquareTrade now and save over $240. Visit SquareTrade.com. That's SquareTrade.com.
SquareTrade! KLZ AM 560, KLZ HD Denver. Listen live at KLZ560radio.com. KLZ 560.
This is the Blaze Radio News. I'm Chris Barnes. The battle to reclaim Ramadi. Iraq's Shiite militia saying they're taking charge of that campaign to drive ISIS out of that city. The Iraqi government on a mission to reclaim it after Ramadi falls to ISIS about a week ago. The prime minister's saying he's going to recapture Ramadi within days. The Iraqi military's failure to hold that western territory, forcing the government to send in Shiite parliamentaries. U.S. authorities say they're concerned that the move will enrage that mostly Sunni population in the region, creating tensions between Sunni and Shiite Muslims. ISIS promoting itself in that region as being the only force capable of protecting Sunnis from Shiites. Former Republican Senator Rick Santorum expected to announce a bid for the White House tomorrow. Here's the Blaze Radio's Joe Gomez.
Rick Santorum's campaign website says he will make a special announcement at a manufacturing plant in Pennsylvania tomorrow, just outside of his hometown of Butler. Earlier this month, the former senator explained to Fox News' Greta Van Susteren why this location is important to him in making a presidential announcement.
To sort of talk about what it was like growing up there and where America needs to go in the future.
Santorum would be the 7th major member of the GOP to declare a run for the White House.
Allegations of foul play in a blues icon's death, as we hear from the Blaze Radio's Greg Moore.
Authorities are investigating accusations that blues legend B.B. King was poisoned before his death at the age of 89. The Clark County coroner says they're taking the allegations seriously, but so far they have no evidence to believe they're true. An investigation by the Las Vegas Police Department's Homicide Division is expected to take at least 6 weeks. 2 of King's daughters accusing his business manager and personal assistant of giving him unknown medications or poisons in the days leading up to his death.
This is news on the Blaze Radio Network. Truth lives here.
The Blaze Radio News on KLZ 560 Denver. Dana Lash after Grassroots Radio Colorado on KLZ 560.
You're listening to the Experience Pros radio show, where business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer, best-selling authors of Lists That Saved My Business, and founders of Experience Pros University, are inspiring you to get your business right. Let's join Angel and Eric for today's program.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. Very nice to have you along with us today. We're here to remind you that small business is big business. Your business is our business. You know the RTD buses that run around the city?
Sure, yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool if they could set a land speed record?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, I was behind a bus one time that thought he was a little sports car.
Oh, is that right?
No.
Oh, well,
no.
Well, what if you did it on a closed track and just revved up the engine and went as fast as you could possibly go?
In a bus?
In a bus.
Didn't they wasn't that a movie?
No, that was, I think actually that bus went faster than what we're talking about because it was a movie. Mr. Keanu Reeves.
Okay, all right.
But no, it just happened. In England, there is a bus that normally, same type of model that typically transports residents around the city and whatnot, recently set a land speed record. The bus topped out at, you want to take a guess how fast?
Well, so what do they typically got? What, 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour? I think that's nice on a bus.
On the interstate.
Yeah, but 60 miles. So bus, I don't know. Did it go 100 miles an hour?
Heck no. They're trying to get a bus to go 1,000 miles an hour. That's what it says here, but it's not a typo. They say, we're trying to go slightly faster than the
actual land speed record, which is 1,000 miles an hour on a
how
bus.
Fast they got 76.785 miles per hour, so almost 80 miles an hour. Here's the deal. It can't go faster than that because of the aerodynamics of that shoebox that's running down the interstate. But, and I do mean but.
Why do you mean but?
That's not why I'm telling you this story.
Why not? Are you telling us this story?
Well, like I said, but the bus is powered by poo.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
Actually, more accurately, bovine manure-derived biomethane. Cow poo. Come on, Patty. It's time to go. It really happened. Kind of funny, huh?
You're so proud of yourself, huh?
Well, methane.
Eric was going to tell you, this is my pleasure to bring you this poo story.
Methane is heralded by some in the energy and transportation industry as the ideal alternative fuel source.
It is yours.
We all have it. Never-ending supply. Apparently, the cow poo bus goes faster than any other.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
That's your news for today.
All right. So do you remember we talked about taking sabbaticals in the last hour?
Yes.
I actually found an article that just showed up in my inbox.
It did.
That wants to know if you've taken a sabbatical, and it talks about some different companies that are offering sabbaticals.
You did ask me to get rid of all the spam, and I get nervous when you start seeing things show up in your inbox that have you leaving me.
But here's the thing.
Again.
Many people who have taken, for some people, they struggle to take a long weekend. The idea of taking weeks or months sounds preposterous.
Right.
But people who have taken them swear by the impact they've had on their lives and their careers. And there are a number of companies that are now getting behind the concept, offering shorter sabbaticals, often with full pay.
What makes a sabbatical?
They seem as a way to lower employee stress levels and strengthen their appeal to millennials.
We're talking months, huh?
Okay, so at Deloitte, employees can take an extended leave after 6 months.
After 6 months?
Birchbox staffers get a 3-week sabbatical after their 3rd year.
Oh, I see. Okay. After
So,
6 months of work. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I thought you were going to say, take a 6-month sabbatical and then get an extended leave on top of that. I'm like, I'm all out. No, we're not doing that.
Anyways, just something to consider.
All right.
And now it's come in my inbox twice.
Yeah, there's
one morning.
There's one more thing to consider
Being
in your
sent
email
to
as soon as the
Angel.
show's over. No, there's not.
I think there is.
All right. We're going to teach you a new word. Yep. We're going to talk about Corporate Concinnity in the boardroom.
Excellent.
Coming next on the Experience Pros Radio Show.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Finding care for an aging parent or loved one can be a simple and hassle-free process with Home Care Assistance Denver by your side. They are locally owned and provide hourly as well as 24/7 live-in services by caregivers that are custom-matched based on client needs. They personalize every care plan to fit your loved one's very specific needs. Call them today to schedule your free in-home assessment. 720-443-3371. 720-443-3371. More information can be found at homecareassistancedenver.com. They love serving your loved ones. Call now, 720-443-3371.
Can you imagine going an entire day without your phone or computer? Crazy, right? How else would you communicate with your team, contact that client, or even get paid? Absolutely nothing happens when you don't have technology in your lap. Even a slow-running computer can stall your progress. And when your software doesn't sync, nothing seems to work out. You've got a technology partner like no other with C² Computer Consulting. C² is your business pain reliever. Solve your pain. Call C² at 303-933-1113.
It was once said the pen was mightier than the sword. We are living in a time now that is demanding the Republic to speak up. Our elected officials need to hear from you. Commit now to send at least one of your representatives the pen. The pen is a bi-monthly publication with news, opinions, and insights for only $24.95. Order yours and order theirs from CSC Talk Radio, P.O. Box 73, California, Missouri 65018, or online at csctalkradio.com. Get your hands on the pen and share constitutional truth with your elected officials.
Congratulations to all the participants in the fan bragging contest. Over 2,000 positive reviews came in. We were anticipating great excitement and increased visibility for each business, but we didn't anticipate the emotion that came with it. There's no way to quantify the encouragement that your fan brags gave. Being an entrepreneur takes everything you've got, and to get the feedback from your own customers has proven to be priceless. Everyone here on the Experience Pros team salutes you today. Be proud, be visible. Check out the members of the Extreme Customer Service Directory at experiencepros.com. And thank you for supporting the companies that support us.
Hi, this is Eric, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at McDonald Volvo. This family-owned business has been delivering extreme customer service for almost 50 years right here in our neighborhood. With upfront worry-free pricing and super personalized service, your best car buying experience is at McDonald Volvo. General Manager Will Roughton is a great friend, and he wants to meet you personally. Call him at 303-738-4803. That's 303-738-4803, and tell him the pros sent you.
Tune in every Monday at 11:35 for What's Going On with Jim Smith from Prudential. Jim will host a lively conversation about the financial and investment topics you're asking about. You can call Jim and his Prudential team directly at 303-669-9701 and tune in on Monday mornings right here on the Experience Pros radio show.
Advertising is really effective, especially for small business. Turn your company into a household name by advertising on the Experience Pros radio show. We'll help you build a trusted reputation with the professionals who listen to the program. You'll connect with the right audience and at the right price. Advertise with the Experience Pros radio show. Sign up at experiencepros.com and put your brand on the tip of your customer's tongue. Sign up today and start advertising with the Experience Pros at experiencepros.com.
Dana Lash, tonight at 8 on KLZ 560.
The Experience Pros want to help you get your business right. Have you joined the revolution? Visit meetup.com/The Revolution and become a business revolutionary. And now, back to Eric and Angel on the Experience Pros radio show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros radio show. Very nice to have you along with us. Hey, do you remember early in our working relationship, Angel, you used to, when I would send you an email, you used to have a dictionary, a thesaurus, and a Bible to figure out what I was talking about? Well, the tables have turned, and I consider myself to be pretty well read and have a decent vocabulary. I never heard the word Concinnity before.
Sent us running to the dictionary this morning when we found out we were going to be interviewing Nancy Halls with her new book, Corporate Concinnity in the Boardroom.
And the dictionary definition, it's a noun, but rare. And it says the skillful and harmonious arrangement or fitting together of the different parts of something. It's the dovetail, baby. That's all.
Okie dokie. Well, Nancy Falls is a founder and CEO of the Concinnity Company. They help company transform the way their boardrooms, their board of directors and leadership teams work together. She has more than 30 years of experience in and around the C-suite and the boardroom, and she understands what it takes to drive authentic of corporate Concinnity in the boardroom. She's our guest. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you. It's nice to be there.
Nancy, very nice to have you along. And thank you for helping me learn something new today. I love that. Let's pick up right there. In order to have this better dovetail, if you will, Concinnity in the boardroom, you have defined 10 distinct imperatives. And maybe we could start with a couple of them, if you will.
Sure.
All right. Please, go ahead.
It's really a book of lists, you know. I should have named it List That Will Save Your Boardroom.
I love that.
I love it. All right, so one of them you talk about is talk about what it means to be prepared in a C-level suite, and then we can apply it down to the small business as well.
Sure. I think it's important for everyone in business, really in life, to have an intention when they are about to have a meeting with somebody. And whether that meeting is in the boardroom or whether it's in the C-suite, same thing. Why are you there? What are you there to do? And how are you to contribute? And one of the things that I mentioned in the Concinnity framework, which is 10 things, a list of 10, if you will, that will help people work better and figure out how to harness differences, is to come to the table prepared and ready and knowing exactly what it is that they have to do.
I love that, Nancy. I think about some different, I sit on a couple of different, and you can always tell there are just some people that are just there to fill that warm seat, really with not a whole lot to contribute. And then there are want to swing that pendulum all the way to the other.
Absolutely, absolutely. Boardrooms, and I suspect other rooms, are filled with people who are at one extreme or another. Either they're taking up too much airspace or they're really too passive.
Yeah.
All right. I got one more question about that being prepared, because I understand what it is to be prepared, but do you ever notice that board meetings tend to get hijacked by one person's preparation? They lead the conversation. They say what's going to happen. It takes the other 12 around the table to all give their various opinions and or they say the same thing, Nancy.
Absolutely. They do.
I think it's a waste of time, so I don't know how we get off of that, but what does it mean to off-board well?
Off-boarding well, which is one of the departures. It has to do with when people leave the company. It could be someone leaving the executive team. It could be someone leaving the boardroom even, or it's something that anyone could leave a part of the organization. And I expect all of your listeners have had ability for making that or another. It's very common today for people to leave. And offboarding well means handling that departure in a good way. And I talked some bad departures. We've all heard about the most dramatic. Someone gets taken off by the police in handcuffs.
Right.
That's not the only definition of a bad departure. A bad departure is really a departure. Relationship is. It's important to realize that in this departure are affected all across the organization. The people who stay as well as people who leave.
And really dismiss the whole notion of the end of that relationship. But you can, just because the business relationship is over, be disrespectful, you can still maintain some. All right, the book, the word Concinnity. Nancy, what made you decide to use a word that is going to send, I don't know, is it just me and Eric that are sent running to the dictionary, or is this a common word that I just wasn't familiar with?
Well, it's not common in business that it will become a common word. And the reality is, for something as company defining or killing, if you will, as good leadership and good governance are, we in the business world really struggle to get them right. In my work with companies, their leaders and their boards, they make the same mistakes over and over. Mm-hmm. And I realized that they really needed a wholly new way of thinking about how they do their work. They needed to figure out how to use differences as a way to come together as opposed to fighting. They needed to find a path to harnessing diversity for strength as opposed to seeing it as a problem. And then the word Concinnity just came to me, literally. And the word conveys this sort of elegance of arranging things that are different, but when you put them together skillfully, they work well. And you think consensus, only an action word.
I love it.
That's a good way to remember it.
Exactly. And I couldn't think of any other better word other than the beauty of a perfect dovetail of different ideas and merging of things that make something more beautiful when they're all together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really, the word Concinnity describes a concept and a goal as well. It's really something around which a team of people can, identify a concept and work together to work together differently.
The book is called Corporate Concinnity in the Boardroom. It comes out in June. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Super excited to get our hands on it. Where can we go find a peek or get ready to make that purchase?
You can have a pretty great peek inside on Amazon.com, Corporate Concinnity in the Boardroom, or Googling on that, Nancy Falls. You can pre-order it now. It's also available on Barnes & Noble and some of the other sites for order, but it's 2 weeks away.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Absolutely.
It's very exciting. You can also check out more information about Nancy at the Concinnity Company. Start using that around your boardrooms. Let's create a buzzword to get it trending on Twitter as well. Corporate Concinnity in the Boardroom. Nancy, anything else you'd like to share with our listeners today?
No, I love your show. I love your list. I'm a list person.
God bless you. Well, we will definitely pick up a copy of your book and share it with our friends here on the radio show. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
You bet. Folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, more positive business talk. You're listening to Angel and Eric on the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros are here to help you get your business right. To learn more, visit experiencepros.com.
The business professionals at Extreme Relationship Management know that networking is one of the best ways to create word-of-mouth marketing for your business. They also know that many of you feel like it's a complete waste of time. The difference is knowing how to network and what to do with all those business cards that you collect. Tune in every Thursday to learn about the ERM networking laws, and be sure to sign up for the next ERM class. Extreme Relationship Management offers training and events to help you realize how rewarding networking can be. Train the ERM way. Find them online at extremerelationshipmanagement.com and call 855-I-LIKE-ERM to find out more about their next class.
You keep wondering about refinancing options. You know rates are low, but don't know how to go about getting the best rate and best type of loan for your situation. What do you even need to get started? Wonder no more. Go to CherylAnswers.com. Cheryl of ALMC Mortgage has put together a checklist of what you need to know and frequently asked questions when it comes to your mortgage. Get answers. Go to CherylAnswers.com. CherylAnswers.com.
LMB number 100020432. NMLS number 266695. You can check the licensing status of your mortgage loan originator at dora.state.co.us.
One of the most important tools in your business is your phone, and you can't afford dropped calls. You can afford Edgetronics. They get your phone system to work for you, not against you. As a certified veteran-owned business, they'll serve your business with honor, and they guarantee you'll always be able to reach them. Call today at 303-766-1699. That's 303-766-1699. Give your phone some love, and you'll love the outcome. You can't afford intermittent service or static phone lines. You can afford Edgetronics. 303-766-1699 or online at Edgetronics, that's with an X.com.
Orange Theory Fitness at Parker and Arapahoe is the official fitness sponsor of the Experience Pros radio show. This is Angel, and Orange Theory is the energizing group fitness concept that is sweeping the nation. Experience the orange effect at the location Eric and I work out at. It's Orange Theory Fitness at Parker and Arapahoe Road. You'll see more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours after your workout. Call for a free Saturday session at 303-645-4290. That's 303-645-4290. We'll see you at Orange Theory Fitness at Parker and Arapahoe Road.
Gentlemen, it's time to step it up a notch. I'm talking about your clothing. Sure, we're all super casual here in Colorado, but there's something to be said for dressing to match your market. You need personal stylist Michelle Martinez. Michelle will come to where you are, custom measure you for an unmatched fit, and help you find your next outfit, all without breaking the bank. Luxury starts with premium materials, and Michelle's got the best Italian fabrics. And talk about value, your clothes delivered straight to you, saving you tons. Call Michelle today, 720-261-4914. That's 720-261-4914.
If you have a rental property and have been managing it all on your own, let Legacy Properties PM help you build your legacy. They handle everything from emergency calls 24 hours a day, market rent analysis, and fiscally responsible home improvement suggestions. They don't mark up contractor work, and they provide quarterly interior property condition reports. Get your first month's management fee for free at legacyproperties-pm.com/radio. That's legacyproperties-pm.com/radio. You're going to love this service. For questions, call 720-989-1996. They'll help you sleep well and build your legacy.
The Dana Show with Dana Lash, tonight at 8 on KLZ 560.
The Experience Pros Radio Show, where small business is big business and your business is our business. Follow them on twitter.com/experiencepros. Now, back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Very nice to have you along with us. Do you Instagram? Well, you might be interested in it. Constant Contact, you know the folks who do that email marketing thing?
Sure.
Well, they put out a great article on Instagram for small business.
Oh, you know what? I went to an event not too long ago, well, several months ago, and there was a gal there from New York who has a boutique and was talking about the benefits of Instagram and how valuable it was for her store because it's all pictures.
Right.
It's all pictures. And so I got all on the Instagram bandwagon. I uploaded my Instagram app and that day I posted a bunch of pictures. That week I posted some pictures and, every now and then I remember, oh, that's right, I have this Instagram thing.
That's pretty much the way most of us in small business execute the Instagram thing. But with a little bit of help from our friends over at McDonald Volvo, we're going to give you a couple of ideas, courtesy of Constant Contact as well, on how to develop Instagram for your business.
Alrighty, all right. Well, this business tip brought to you by our friends at McDonald Volvo. Find them online at mcdonaldvolvo.com. Go and visit their beautiful showroom at 6040 South Broadway in Littleton. Or give them a call, 888-602-0924. Tell them Experience Pros sent you. They're going to throw in some extra perks and goodies just for being an Experience Pros listener.
First thing you need to do is when you go to intend to use Instagram is you got to download the app, sign up, update your profile, make sure that you choose a recognizable username so that it makes sense to people. Mine is Experience Pros.
You've got the Experience Pros Instagram account?
Not only do I have it, but I've been using it.
Oh,
and we're growing well.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's only fair. I have the Twitter on my phone.
You've got the Twitter, and I think we both share the Pinterest Experience Pros one.
Okay.
So it's all good. But once you get it set up, well, the first thing you do is you realize it's a photo app, and so you've got to snap a photo or a video.
Right, because that's how it is. It is a photo-driven app. But here's what's interesting is there was a study done on where they analyzed 7.6 million photos.
Oh, so it's not just a small study.
No, 7.6. And actually, they were using it through Flickr. They analyzed almost 8 million Flickr photos that were uploaded via the Flickr app.
Yep.
And more than half of which were cross-posted then over to Instagram.
All right.
All of that to decide which filter is the best use for when you're uploading your Instagram photos.
I'll be honest with you, I never got the filter thing. And I scroll through the filters and I pick one, but I don't know that there's any
well, there's some science behind it now. Right. Okay, so here's the thing. Filtered photos are 21% more likely to be viewed.
What?
They're 45% more likely to be commented on than unfiltered photos.
Just by putting a filter.
Just by putting. And here's the filter that gets the most response is the warmer temperature warm filter.
The warmer temperature or warm
filter, whatever that one is. Yeah.
So it just kind of puts
increases the color saturation, increases contrast, increasing exposure, adding an age effect. The warmth filter had the largest correlation with the number of comments, and that exposure effect was tied most tightly to views.
All right.
All right. So there you go. So if you're going to do a filter,
you've got a photo, make sure you edit your image with a filter, right?
Yep.
And then the next thing is include a caption.
Yeah, you need some words.
Right?
You need some words.
Once you've included the caption, don't forget to add your location and tag people. Tagging is such a big piece because what does tagging do? It alerts those people that you've done something, and what are they likely to do?
Share it.
Hello?
They're going to share it. So it's creating that conversation. Who do you want to see it? Who do you want to know about that? And so also Instagram makes it really easy. Once you're on Instagram, it starts sending you, these are other people that are probably linked to you because maybe you're on another social media site and it's super smart and spies on you, and it knows that you're connected with these people over there. You'll probably be wanted to be connected to them over here. And so it auto populates the people that you're connected to. And then you can grow from there.
Absolutely. Here's some really cool things you can do with an Instagram or other photo editing type of and sharing type of social media. The first thing is you can pique your audience's interest by showing off your business's products, and or how about if you're a consultant and you don't have products that are photo worthy? I mean, I just sit and listen to people and tell them what to do. How can I take a picture of that? Well, I'll bet your clients have products. Take a cool photo of your clients' products and share those.
Well, here's something, we think about, okay, it's all about me. It's all about me. What do I need to share about me? But promoting other people, other products, other services, I mean, it's kind of like a fan brag on steroids, right? This is where I'm at. This is who I like. This is what I'm doing. And so it makes it really easy to tag others and promote others. And it's okay, because where you go, your brand is following all of that. Your brand is attached to all of those mentions and tags.
Absolutely. Here's another thing that you're going to do, and we're going to actually do this in the middle of the next commercial break. We're going to introduce our employees.
On Instagram?
Sure.
Oh.
Take a photo of your employees. Take a photo of, we're going to get a photo of Cher. We're going to get a photo of Charlie here in just a minute. And I'm going to post them on our Instagram because these are the people who make what we do happen.
All right.
Celebrate them.
Yeah. So just know on Instagram, the Experience Pros is Eric, just in case that helps.
What does that mean?
I'm just giving them some information. Just information. They want to know. There's got to be
represents Experience.
There's a person behind it. There's people don't follow the company. They want to know the people. So,
it's true, which is why we're going to take pictures of them. But I guarantee they follow the company.
Well, but they also follow the people.
By the hundreds.
By the people.
Do I need an Eric Instagram?
No, you don't need an Eric
I'll never
Instagram.
catch up to you.
It's not a contest.
I think it is. Here's another thing you can do. Make an emotional connection. Images have the power to make an emotional impact on your audience. Think about what you want your audience to feel when they look at your pictures.
And it's all that brand promise, right? It's everything that your customers think about you. It's the culture. It's that promise.
It's the last day 3 kids went to school.
Oh my gosh.
All walking together.
Well, what was so funny is that was 3 years ago.
Right.
But it came up on my Facebook. You know how kind of history posts come up.
Sure.
And it showed me this picture 3 years ago today. I took a picture of my kids all walking to school together for the last time, all 3 of them, because the girls were graduating from high school. And oh my gosh.
Emotional much?
Oh my gosh. I saw it and I just welled up. And I'm in public when I saw it. My kids are like, what is that? I'm like, look at the picture. It's you walking to school your last day of senior year. And they just,
All right. Fantastic article. I think I'll post this on the Facebook page so that everybody can take a look at it, because there's much more that you can do. Instagram for Business, it really does resonate with people. What does they say? A picture's worth 1,000 words. Go get it. But don't forget to put a filter on it. If you like it, put a filter on it. We'll be back right after these messages.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
Get your payroll and employee paperwork done efficiently, effectively, and economically with Employer Essentials. Free up your time, free up your money, and let Employer Essentials help your business grow. They handle all of your payroll and HR needs at EmployerEssentials.com or call 303-734-9436. 303-734-9436.
If printing is an essential part of your business day, then RMK Cartridge is your lifeline to success. Hi, this is Eric, and Angel and I wouldn't think of running our business without having RMK Cartridge on our speed dial. Remanufactured ink and toner cartridges are just the beginning. Free delivery and award-winning service coupled with 30 to 50% savings over original manufacturer products means that we're saving time, money, and space in the landfill all at once. Treat your printer to the best. Contact the guys at RMK Cartridge at 303-781-2076 or on the web at rmkcartridge.com.
When you work from home, you run the risk of setting up a makeshift workspace in the corner or somewhere off to the side of your bedroom. It's not really a home office. It just happens to be your office at home. Let Helene's Designs help you create a productive workspace that transforms you from hobbyist into an innovative CEO ready to be featured in a magazine spread. Take charge of your home office and call Helene's Designs. You're the CEO. Make sure your home office looks like it. 720-233-7302. 720-233-7302.
Let's face it, you're stuck. Sure, your business is stable, but you've been floundering it even for too long. It's time to call Stephanie Scheller. Stephanie is a systems, business, and market. Over 300 companies improve their results by setting up systems and holding them accountable to trackable growth. Sometimes all you need is a fresh perspective and a little bit of accountability to break through to the next level of your success story. Call Stephanie today, 210-426-6956, and just talk to her. 210-426-6956. She can help. It's your business. Call today.
Nyland's Collision Center is an award-winning body shop that takes great care of you and your matters when your insurance company wants to take shortcuts. Nyland's Collision Center only uses manufactured parts when a cheap, ill-fitting part is available. At Nyland's, it matters. If it's not perfect, it's not leaving. 303-761-9219. 303-761-9219.
SharpNet Solutions has been optimizing websites for over 16 years, since before Google was even a company. Hi, this is Eric, and I want you to let that sink in for a moment. SharpNet Solutions has been helping hundreds of small businesses get found on the search engines since before Google became Google. They're one of the most affordable SEO firms in the country, and if you tell them Experience Pros sent you, you'll get up to 50% off of your SEO services. Still wonder if they can help you? Google Experience Pros. We use them. 303-900-4988. That's 303-900-4988 or sharpnetsolutions.com.
Wake up with Randy Corcoran, 5 to 8 tomorrow morning on KLZ 560.
The Experienced Pros want to help you get your business right. Have you joined the revolution? Visit meetup.com/therevolution and become a business revolutionary. And now, back to Eric and Angel on the Experienced Pros radio show.
Here we go again. I kinda wanna be more than friends, so take it easy.
Welcome back to the Experienced Pros radio show. Thanks for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. It's time to talk about something that may or may not be as upbeat as you've come to expect, but sometimes we just got to talk about it.
Well, I think we've all at some point or another felt low self-esteem, right? Not overly confident when we walked into a room. We felt lonely, had a time in our life where it's just kind of those darker days. So we brought in our guest expert, Anneli Rufus. She's the author of Party of One, a Loner's Manifesto. Stuck, Why We Can't or Won't Move On, and now to celebrate her newest release, Unworthy, How to Stop Hating Yourself, now in paperback. She's an award-winning journalist. She aims to explore how and why we feel the complicated ways that we do about each other. She's going to discuss feelings of loneliness, self-hatred, and apathy. And we're talking about a self-esteem world that we are living in. And her latest book, Unworthy, How to Stop Hating Yourself, is probably something very necessary for many of our listeners. Anneli, welcome to the Experience Pros radio show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Anneli, very nice to have you along with us. What is the root cause of low self-esteem? Is it genetic?
It can be. Science hasn't quite figured that out yet, but that's the interesting thing. In studies that show identical twins that were raised on opposite sides of the world without even knowing that each other existed, and then were brought together as adults, they're shown to have identical habits. Very surprising. Like they'll put rubber bands around their wrists in exactly the same way. They have exactly the same taste in mates. And when you look at their DNA, when you look at their brain scans, they have identical sort of constellations of gray matter and white matter in their brains. So this tells scientists that some of our quirks, habits, personality traits are born with us. And that could mean that just as there's like a diabetes gene, there is a low self-esteem gene where we are born with a tendency to be vulnerable to criticism, perfectionist, that kind of thing. So we don't know yet. But, you know, the easy way to get low self-esteem is to either grow up as I did with a person who meant very well, but my mother had extremely low self-esteem. So from the beginning of time, I watched her look in the mirror saying, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're
not good enough."
To herself,
Yeah.
not to me. But, you know, that'll do it. Kids are sponges. They absorb everything they see.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times when we see, some of the struggles that people have with self-esteem, we think it's their environment, right? And it's the people they grew up with, and it's the words that were spoken into them. And Anneli, you say that the business of self-esteem has actually become a multi-billion-dollar industry. So what do we have to show for it?
Haha, that's interesting because in 1985, a California assemblyman decided that if they raised the self-esteem of school children, that would lower the dropout rate, that would raise test scores, that would lower teen pregnancy rate.
Makes sense.
And it makes sense, right? Because, he had this great faith. And so this became a mandatory curriculum change throughout the entire nation. Starting in the mid-'80s, schools were required to have kids reciting affirmations, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, everyone wants to be my friend, and making kind of me flags and scrapbooks and talking about themselves and their feelings. This was a whole new way of education that was after my time in school. And in science, studies have shown recently that in a way it worked. Yes, students' self-esteem is higher now than it was before 1985. But as we also know, the test scores have not risen, and the teen crime is not down. So it didn't work there. So self-esteem does not automatically mean, social woes go away. In the meantime, though, while all this has been happening, because of the enthusiasm for self-esteem, there have been countless books of affirmations, again, the I am wonderful, and the workshops based on this. And people pour money into, how can we make ourselves and how can we make those around us feel good about themselves?
Well, clearly that should help, right? I mean, the simple Band-Aid answer that many people come up with is snap out of it. Just say something nice about yourself. Look in the mirror instead of saying, I hate my body. Say, I love my body. Self-affirmation should work, right?
Yeah, and get over yourself. It doesn't work. And that's, of course, having been there, having suffered low self-esteem for decades, I can tell you it doesn't work, and it just makes you feel worse when people say, get over yourself, do it. It's so easy. Why does it feel so hard? Low self-esteem, actually living with low self-esteem, is like dragging a ball and chain around.
It's a depression, right?
Yeah, it's a kind of depression. I think you can have depression without low self-esteem, but I don't think you can have low self-esteem without depression. It's like you're walking through your life dragging a ball and chain while beating yourself over the head with a hammer, and you cannot stop. The thing about affirmations, another interesting study was done a few years ago by 2 Canadian universities, and they had a group of people with high self-esteem and a group of people with low self-esteem, both reciting an affirmation. It was, I love myself, or I am beautiful, or something. The group with high self-esteem felt better after saying the statement, but the group with low self-esteem felt worse about themselves after saying the statement. And of course, as the researchers concluded, and as I would definitely agree, if you say something that extreme and that grandiose and you already don't like yourself, you're not going to believe that. If I say, I'm beautiful, I'm wonderful, and I already think I'm ugly and stupid, now I also think I'm a liar. So I have another reason to hate myself. What I always say, and what I say in Unworthy, How to Stop Hating Yourself, is go for reality checks. Find someone you can trust. And let that person tell you what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, because we all have weaknesses because we're human beings. But if you know from a person you can trust what's really okay about you, that is worth fortune more than I am beautiful, I am great, which I don't believe. But if someone says to me, you know what, you're not good at sports, you're not good at math, you have a great sense of humor, I will treasure that. I can take that with me into the world and use that.
And you don't spiral on the sports and humor?
No, because you got something else.
Because you got something good. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
This is great, Anneli, because I think, we either have family members or people that we work with, coworkers, and, we tend to get really impatient, with people with low self-esteem, which probably then continues to keep them spiraling downward into feeling more alone. And so just finding, what are those true natural, because everybody has their true natural gifts. We're not all extroverts. We're not all supposed to be the ones up in front. And, I think that there's room at the table for all the different gifts. And, I think just continuing to point out that you have low self-esteem probably just buries them even deeper, right?
Doesn't work. And people there's all kinds of complicated parts of this condition as it is, because people with low self-esteem find it very, very hard to accept any praise at all. Of course, impossible to accept high praise, you are beautiful, but it's hard even to accept small praise at first because you think, is this person joking with me? What do they want? People with low self-esteem, and as you say, yeah, it's hard not to be impatient and annoyed with them. Ask my husband, who's lived with me for, it's like, it's a real pain in the bottom, to try and just have a normal life with someone who's constantly putting themselves down.
Anneli, you brought up one thing that I want to ask about, and for the sake of time, I think this will be my last question for you. But I understand it's hard for the person with low self-esteem to believe the person who's trying to heap praise or whatnot. But it sounds to me like that other person in your life is a critical piece to the solving of the puzzle. I've always said, I will continue to tell you the positive things that I see until you believe them yourself. Is that a good approach?
Yeah, just do it little by little. Do it in acceptable little nuggets, whether it's a child, whether it's your partner, whether it's just your friends or your coworkers. Try to imagine how they feel, looking in the mirror every day and seeing a monster and think, okay, what can I tell this person that they might believe?
Good deal. The book is called Unworthy, How to Stop Hating Yourself, and just out now, right?
Just out in paperback this week.
Love that. Congratulations on that. Where do we get a copy?
Online or in your local store if you still have one.
You're right.
Right.
That's the author's dilemma, is it not? Okay, so again, the book Unworthy, How to Stop Hating Yourself. Anneli Rufus, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story and a positive note with us.
Anneli, you have a blog that you write for, right?
I can be found at AnneliRufus.com, AnneliRufus.com, and that's also my Twitter handle and my Facebook handle.
Love it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show, put a bow on it. We're not done with the positive business talk. You're listening to Angel and Eric on the Experience Pros Radio Network.
The Experience Pros are here to help you get your business right. To learn more, visit experiencepros.com.
Being a homeowner, business owner, or a consumer has never been easier thanks to the Extreme Customer Service Directory. You can count on the Experience Pros Network to deliver the best in customer service and collaboration. Check out the Extreme Customer Service Directory for all your referrals. And if you don't see your favorites on the list, let us know. We'll check them out. And if their customers are saying great things about them, they could be a great fit for the Extreme Customer Service Directory. Online at experiencepros.com/directory.
Computers, we can't live a moment without them. My friend sent me an email recently saying she was having 99 problems and 97 of them were because of email and technology. I hate it when it doesn't work, but I'm stuck with how to get past the lockups, the slow retrieval, and lost data. This is what Binkley IT specializes in, all your computer quirks and hangups. They'll take care of you, and often they can do it remotely. Call our friends at Binkley IT and solve your IT puzzle one piece at a time. Call 720-254-1057, 720-254-1057. And if your computer is still working, look them up online at binkleyit.com.
The Extreme Customer Service Directory is the go-to place for finding the companies who have the best customer testimonials. Plus, to make it even easier, we narrowed down the field to only 3 companies in your area. If you need a printer in the metro area, we have it. If you need ink and toner, we have it. The Extreme Customer Service Directory is one of the most visited directories in the state, and it's all yours to view for free at experiencepros.com. Experiencepros.com for the best in customer service. When you're looking for the best, think Experience Pros. You can feel good about doing business with the pros.
Attention business owners, if you're waiting 30 to 60 days or more to get paid, Riviera Finance can turn your invoices into immediate cash flow. Let them help. Their process is simple and no debt is created. Riviera Finance is located right here in Denver. They've been helping companies across the U.S. for over 40 years. So if you bill on credit but need better cash flow, call Jack Loudon at Riviera Finance now at 303-409-7706. That's 303-409-7706. Or visit RivieraFinance.com.
As a business owner, you know what it's like to wear a bunch of hats, and we know it too, which is why our very best advice to you is to outsource your accounting to By the Numbers Bookkeeping and Accounting. Philip Aronoff is well known to listeners and members of the Experience Pros Network. He was voted the best bookkeeper in the state of Colorado during the fan Braggin contest, and he can absolutely help you build your business while making sure your accounting is all taken care of. Call Philip today and take that bookkeeping hat off for good. 720-837-0860. That's 720-837-0860.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
As long as I live.
As long as I live.
Several of us were working to rescue a family. The house collapsed on top of the cellar door and trapped them.
We had to use Humvees and heavy machinery to move massive trees and debris.
We got them out. We helped a lot of people out. It felt good to know I could really make a difference.
Because I'm a citizen soldier in the National Guard.
Be there the moment your community needs you. Learn more at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Colorado National Guard, aired by the Colorado Broadcasters Association and this station.
Dana Lash, tonight at 8 on KLZ 560.
The Experience Pros want to help you get your business right. And now, back to Eric and Angel on the Experience Pros radio show.
Don't be so quick to walk away. That's me. I want to burn your body. Please stay.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros radio show. Very nice to have you along with us.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You were dancing.
I just went back. I got to see Justin Timberlake in concert a year ago, I guess it was. I just had a moment.
Did you have
I'm sorry.
a wardrobe malfunction?
I might have.
Oh.
All right. So, interesting conversation we just had with Anneli Rufus about low self-esteem and just, that it's something that we're all probably, if not dealing with personally, have at some point or another, know people. But a new study just came out from Brunel University in London talking about what our Facebook statuses tell about our personalities.
Oh,
so we can tell your personality based on what you post in Facebook. So here's the thing.
I got to go find out what my Facebook statuses have been. I'm not sure I like this topic yet.
I know. We're all going to go back and look at it with new eyes.
Most recent one was the women who make Experience Pros wonderful, Cher and Angel.
Okay, well, I don't know if that specifically.
What's that say?
But let's see what we can get through. So, if friends brag about the sweet gestures of their partners on Facebook, they might be inadvertently sharing a thing or two about their personalities at the same time. Okay, so they reviewed the status updates of 555 Facebook users who had also completed surveys about self-esteem, narcissism, and the big 5 personality traits: extroversion, neuroticism. Look, I'm like, I can't even read this. It's on my phone, and I'm like holding it back now. I think I'm going to go get the new phone this afternoon. Openness,
much cheaper. Get a pair of those
agreeableness, and conscientiousness.
Okay. Perhaps
unsurprisingly, they found those with different personality traits chose to share very different information.
Of course.
Okay, so this is not rocket science to put here. Here we go. Extroverts, for example, frequently write about social events and tend to use Facebook exclusively to socialize.
Okay, I can see that. Extroversion, sure.
I do. Maybe I'm an extrovert because I do use Facebook to socialize.
You have an extroverted element to you. I would say that's true. You would never, ever use those words because inner is very much introverted.
Well, I had heard, here's extrovert versus introvert.
Yeah.
Here's, just because you're social, just because you're happy around people, you're not a wallflower, does not necessarily mean you're an introvert or an extrovert. It's how you recharge. So if you need to take a break and when you need to rest and recharge, you need to be around people.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're an extrovert. If in recharging and refueling, just kind of getting your bearings back on, if you need to be all alone and quiet, you're an introvert. And I think I'm an introvert because of that one piece of it. But anyways, going on. Conscientious people often write about their children. People with open personalities don't shy away from sharing political views or their social itinerary. People with low self-esteem frequently post about their romantic partners. Really?
People with low
self-esteem frequently post about their romantic partners. People are more likely to post relationship-relevant information on Facebook on days when they feel insecure.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. Sometimes I have to remember to tell my husband, oh, that's right. I should probably go on the Facebook and say happy anniversary to you, because people are going to think that I'm not saying happy anniversary to you, even though I said it in person.
No, who cares what people think?
I do. So anyways, it's reasonable to see the move as a way to claim, quote unquote, claim their relationship. However, those with low self-esteem, they're not aiming for attention and validation so much as narcissists, who were found to share updates about their achievements, as well as their diet and fitness routine, which suggests a deliberate display of the energy they put into their appearance.
So if you post, I'm proud of my my workout today, you're a narcissist?
I post all the time when we show up at Orange Theory.
That is an extreme.
Okay. Researchers say narcissists also posted more and received more likes and comments than others. But it could be that their Facebook friends politely offer support while secretly disliking their egotistical displays.
Well, that's probably true.
Let's see. Greater awareness of how one's status updates might be perceived by friends could help people avoid topics that annoy more than they entertain. And as the study was self-reported, narcissists may have inflated the number of likes and comments they actually received. They might have lied about their results.
They might have. Narcissism, looked it up in the dictionary, and it says excessive or, and I'm not getting this wrong, erotic interest, not neurotic, erotic interest in oneself and one's physical appearance. In other words, you get off by yourself. Seriously,
I love my body. I love my body. I read that's a self-affirmation we're supposed to say.
Seriously.
I love my body.
I love my body. I love my house. I love my job. I love the sink. Yeah, I'm referencing
a fun video where
video.
I just love everything.
All right. Well, I went and looked at my recent posts of, my status updates.
You're helping a friend.
Can you believe I almost have no status updates? I don't update my status hardly ever.
Hardly ever.
I don't. Instead, what I do is I comment on other people's statuses and support and like them in that regard.
Okay, so yeah, I shared a link.
Yeah, you do a lot of
I did
sharing.
I did the 3 years ago. I shared that again.
Even I don't do very much of that. Most of my page, if you go to the Eric Raymer on Facebook, most of it is other people sharing to my page.
Oh, I get
and my interaction with that.
Sure, I do have people that are posting. Somebody gave me a sad face when I posted our upcoming Experience Pros events, like an angry sad face.
Who would do that?
Well, somebody I know.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. No comment, just a sad face.
Oh.
I think it's because she misses out on my narcissistic activities.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Shared
we're having too much
social
fun
activities. When we're at social events, I share pictures of all the events that we go to. Maybe I am.
Do you know what I think it means?
What I think it means?
I think it means that you are a lovely sharing person, and that sometimes that's a threat to other people
here's the thing.
who are not lovely sharing.
It's the Facebook, right? Sometimes,
what's it about?
Sometimes we think about stuff and we share it and we post it. And I happen to have a picture, or I'm thinking of this and I'm checking in here and this is where we're at. I think to actually come up with it and say that it defines our personality based on our posts.
That's ridiculous.
I think so. It's probably your mood, the availability you have that day to actually click and share something.
Right.
Because. I don't know. Anyways,
can I share
it was
with you
an
what I just
interesting study.
recently shared?
They only actually did a study of 555 people. This was in London.
Oh, well.
So it's not, so I think there's an element to that. And you think about the billions of users, and that's kind of like doing an Arbitron rating for radio.
Yeah. Take a sample of 200 people for a market of 4.4 million. Hey, I did share something yesterday, though. I only shared it with a small group of people in the Raymer's Rice Cooker Chronicles group.
He made me zoodles.
I did make you zoodles, but
I love zoodles.
But guess what I did? I made my very first ever cooking video and put it on the YouTube.
I know he's got like his little cutting board. He's got his little display of ingredients.
Yes.
He's got the camera like looking from behind him as he cuts. It is.
Do you want to check it out?
I've seen it.
Well, I'm talking to the audience.
Okay.
If you want to check it out, go check out Raymer's Rice Cooker Chronicles on Facebook. Otherwise, you just have to ask me personally, because I'll send you the link to the YouTube. But it's it's kind of cool. Maybe I am narcissistic after all.
I know, aren't we all?
Unhealthy,
I think that
erotic,
Facebook makes us.
In fact, I don't even think of the word erotic when I think of myself. But
I think that it makes us narcissistic.
Yeah, you're dropping assist.
I was thinking.
You need an assist.
All right.
I'll assist you anytime.
I had made my very first ever video on YouTube on how to decorate and how to build a gingerbread house, but it's got to be like 10 years ago. I don't know if I could find it.
We should look it up. All right, folks, we have to wrap this up. I'm sorry to say, but the good news is we'll be back again tomorrow. The sun will come out again tomorrow. That's what they say. And so thank you for tuning in. On behalf of Charlie, our producer, Angel, myself, we truly appreciate you.
This has been the Experience Pros Radio Show with business revolutionaries Angel Tussey and Eric Raymer. For more information, you can contact Experience Pros by calling 720-344-2446 or visit them on the web at experiencepros.com, facebook.com/experiencepros, and twitter.com/experiencepros. What are you waiting for? Join the revolution.